You've raced all day long, you've cleared all the wrecks, and with 14 to go, you're in it. That's a heartbreaker.
Casey King trying to thread the needle, had nowhere to go because Kurt Busch's car just abruptly slid right across in front of him, and Casey had cars to his outside. What a mess here with 14 laps to go.
Kurt Busch had to lose a right front tire or something like that because, Andy, he was in the groove. That last replay just showed us that he did not get up in the dirty portion of the racetrack, just lost the car and shot straight up with something failing in the right front corner of that car.
More than likely a tire. We've got a lot of debris on the racetrack from some of these other incidents. More than likely caught a puncture in that right front. Didn't feel it till we got going green.
And there's been so many restarts here. You just got to believe that a lot of rubber buildup, a lot of dirt getting on the tires causing that.
There's the list of drivers involved in the crash. You see it has involved at least 11 different cars that have had significant damage, maybe some others that we're still checking on to see if some of them did get some damage as they went by, like the 5 of Kyle Busch, and how bad's the damage on Jimmy Johnson's car and others. Well, that Dodge of Kurt Busch heavily used up under a red flag here at Dover, Delaware. Caution number 12, the big one at Dover. Heavy contact, a dozen cars involved. Back in just a moment.
ESPN's coverage of NASCAR Nextel Cup Series on ABC. Brought to you by the Principal Financial Group. Will give you an edge. Sprint, featuring NASCAR Nextel Cup Series updates at sprint speed. And the Ford F-150. Built Ford tough.
Back at Dover International Speedway, a record 12 caution flags. We have now set a record for 400-mile races here at Dover. And, of course, if the race were to end right now, all 12 positions in the chase for the Nextel Cup in terms of points would change place here at Dover. This hard crash, let's check in, I think, where Dave is caught up with one of the drivers involved.
Yeah, Jerry, that 12th caution unfortunately involved the 12 car. Ryan, what did you see?
I believe something happened with the 2 cars right front tire. Either popped the tire or did something and got up and glanced off the wall, and I had really no place to go. In hindsight, I would have just hit him and knocked him out of the way and crashed myself in the 2 instead of blocking up the whole racetrack, but I tried to miss him, spun the car, and unfortunate. A great run going for the Altel Dodge. Great rebound for the entire weekend to come back and run in the top 5 the way we did, but just unfortunate. Look forward to the rest of the races.
I mean, talk about that. You were pretty much in the top 10 most of the day, Ryan.
Yeah, we drove up and we had to adjust on the car a lot, which was good calls by Michael and the crew, but just wrong place, wrong time there at the end. Just we were trying to do the right thing, and we got 3 wide there. The 2 car was inside of me, and the 1 car was on the outside, and I kind of let the 2 car go, and in hindsight, I wish I wouldn't, but in a roundabout way, it ended our day, and it was a good run regardless.
Now, best news, of course, is that Ryan walked out of the car. The car is destroyed, though, front end mangled in the 12 car, Jerry.
Again, a 12-car accident. 12 cars, you see the damage on the 12 car there. 12 different cars involved, some heavily damaged, others having a minimal damage. Some of those cars that are damaged are still parked on the racetrack over there in turn 2. We saw some fluid out from beneath the 1 car of Martin Truex. You wonder, we saw the 5 car of Kyle Busch maybe have some contact, and the 48. There's the 1 car. See the damage on the front of the Truex car. You got to wonder how badly that car is damaged. We are under a red flag, and of course they will not know until they can crank it up and come back around. Now, while they are stopped, let's visit with our in-race reporter, who happens to be our leader, Carl Edwards.
Carl Edwards, Rusty up in ESPN. You got us, buddy?
10-4, Rusty. We're just trying to decide if we're going to stop for tires or not.
Well, that's one of the questions they got. Kurt Busch is picking up a lot of debris and blew a tire with all the debris on the racetrack, and he got in the wall. I mean, with all these cautions, are you really looking hard for that debris out there? You got to be, I guess.
Yeah, I'm looking as hard as I can. What would you do? Take tires or not?
No, buddy, I wouldn't take tires at all. If you haven't run over anything, I wouldn't take the tires. That's my advice, but obviously I don't drive any longer. That's Mr. Osborne's decision now, but that does seem to be a problem with all the debris and all the cautions.
Yeah, I guess so, but I think this thing's fast enough. I don't think I've run anything over. I got faith in Goodyear, and hopefully I've been living right, and we'll be okay, you know?
Carl, you've had so many restarts right now. You concerned about the restarts? Mark's got some really good ones on you that last couple times there.
He has been doing a pretty good job. Obviously I'm concerned, but once we get going, it seems like we're real fast. So what we'll do is we'll just watch and see if all these guys pull off for tires, and then we'll think if we might do it, we might not. But I think our car's good enough even if they took tires. So we'll see what happens.
All right, buddy. Thanks for talking to us today. 14 laps to go. Wish you luck.
Thanks, Rusty.
Bob Osborne has done a great job with Carl Edwards today, made the calls, and I guess a lot of those discussions take place as whether you put tires on or not. Now, another one of the drivers involved who was having a really good run today, Jeff Green, standing by with Alan Bestwick.
And he has walked from the Unionfield Care Center and told me already that he's okay. Your car just came by here. It doesn't look so good. What'd you see?
Just a lot of smoke, anytime. I guess on both sides it's the same way. It just always all goes to the bottom, and we were surrounded by cars. Just probably the worst time for it to happen. On a restart, 10, 15 laps to go, everybody's anxious, and just hate it for my Comcast guys. My Comcast Chevrolet was really, really, really good. And we were just working on the top 10, We needed that for the last month. Hadn't been very good, so I was proud of what we did today, and still proud of what we did today. We just don't have anything to show for it.
So many crashes late in the race. Do you feel the intensity pick up inside the car? Has something changed out there as the laps are running out?
Well, I mean, it always does at the end of the race. People trying to get that extra spot, and you've got several races out there. You don't just have the race for the win. You have races for a lap down, races for 2 laps down, races for the championship. So you have to be careful on that aspect. But one of the championship guys got us in trouble there. So I'm sure if he had to do it, he'd do something different, and not blaming him for that, but just tore up a lot of cars.
All right, Jeff, thanks for the time. Jamie?
And now I'm joined by Bono. He is the crew chief for Martin Truex Jr. We saw the different camera angles. You guys obviously crunched up. What can you guys do from this point on to salvage these last points and finish this race up?
Well, it'd be nice to say we could stay on the lead lap. It's going to be a pretty tough feat to do. Definitely have a hole in the radiator, lower hose, something's leaking water. So we got a radiator here. We got a cool down unit where you can try to get some more water in it, and maybe finish the last 14 laps and not blow up. So that just got to assess the damage when we get it in here.
I know you guys are trying to figure out what's wrong. You have a backup radiator here. What are you allowed to do in this short amount of time on pit road?
Well, we have a little opening here, so we can pretty much pull into this opening and do anything we need, but right now we're just going to see what we have to do when it gets in here.
All right, well, they just refired, so Martin Truex Jr. will be making his way down pit road for some repairs. Doc?
Thank you, Jamie, and they are getting set to make the repairs on pit road in that one car that was so good here back in the spring where Martin Truex picked up his very first career Nextel Cup victory. Well, you've waited all summer long, and the housewives are back. And one thing's for sure, it's a hell of a day in the neighborhood. You know what? Terry Hatcher, Felicity Huffman, Eva Longoria, Marcia Cross, and Nicolette Sheridan all-star in the Desperate Housewives season premiere. That's coming up next Sunday at 9 o'clock Eastern Time. One of my favorite shows. We love sitting home when we get home at night after a NASCAR race and tuning in to Desperate Housewives.
Yeah, I'm glad to see a new season coming up. I like that show, too.
And that is a heck of a day in the neighborhood over that place, that's for sure.
Okay, pit road's open now. When they come around, it'll be a quickie yellow. So all the cars can pit, even the lap down cars. So we're going to watch for Mark Martin and those guys behind Carl to see if they're going to duck on pit road. I know Carl's got one eye peeled in that mirror.
What does Mark Martin do? Does he stay out? Does he come in? How about Greg Biffle, Kyle Busch, Martin Truex? We know he's got to come on for repairs. And looks like the 99 and the 01 will stay out. Biffle, the third place car, the first among the cars up front to make an entrance on the pit road. Here comes the 5 car of Kyle Busch to you, Alan Bestwick.
Yeah, no question they were going to pit. Kyle got hit a couple times in that wreck, but did not have any significant contact or damage. So he is going to take 4 tires here, and they're going to look and see if they can repair any damage that might need to be repaired. And that's what's going on there with the 5 car, and they haven't really lost a whole lot. Dave?
Alan, one of the most important adjustments for Greg Biffle may be the piece of tape that car chief Will Smith just put on the left front brake duct. Now he's putting some on the right front. They've been running cool enough on the brakes where they can put that tape on, get more downforce, help that 16-car turn. Oh, the 4 fresh tires might help too. Greg Biffle is a contender, Jamie.
And Martin Truex Jr., we just talked to his crew chief. They're checking out the damage right now to see if they can get away without repairing or replacing that radiator. They're checking their water temperatures right now. They're trying to lift that hood up. As you can see, tons of damage. It's got it locked in there. Time is of the essence right now, Doc. The chasers and the race today. Unbelievable. Martin Truex Jr. trying to salvage these last few laps here.